Good evening, everyone. Let's begin the class. This is an orientation class for the students who have taken geography as their optionals for the civil services examination. And welcome, there's a welcome from ForumIAS and ForumIAS. This is the second cohort for the augmented test series. Last year too, we conducted one of the test series. This is the second time we are conducting this test series. So, before we move ahead, I would like to first understand why, as a person, people, you chose geography as your optional. So please, could you tell me why you chose geography as your optional? Yeah. So she's right. This is one of the basic criteria for choosing geography as optional because it has a huge overlapping portion with the general studies, and it helps in understanding our general studies knowledge as well as the topics that are covered under essay 2. However, if you see, the materials too are available in abundance in geography optional. But the problem does not lie either with the availability of materials or the understanding of concepts. The problem lies ki after you have understood geography, how are we able to replicate it through answers? That is the toughest problem. So the toughest problem, if you see in geography optional, is how to replicate what you are understanding, what you are studying, what the knowledge you are gathering, to replicate it through your answers in a crisp and precise form. This is the basic issue. If you see in geography, by now people who have come here, so if you see, there are two kinds of students who have recently taken geography as their optional and are looking for a test series to sharpen up their writing skills, or the other is the veterans. First one are the freshers. And the other one are the veterans, who I call them veterans. So how many attempts have you done? 3 attempts have you done. So you will fall under the category of veterans. So you know the nuances of geography as the optional, right? So before I move ahead, let me introduce myself. My primary education started from Sanic School. Then I have done my graduation and post-graduation from IIT Kharagpur. Graduation in bachelor's, graduation in manufacturing science and engineering, and post-graduation in industrial engineering and management. Thereafter, I worked for a little time period in the research and development team of Kirloskar Oil Engines Limited. Thereafter, I started preparing for civil services examination. I have written 4 mains, 2 interview. And then I worked for a think tank called Center for Knowledge Sovereignty as a researcher. And thereafter, we started as our own startup, a team from IIT Kharagpur and IIT Bombay. And right now, too, I'm working on a startup. And simultaneously, I'm a geography teacher here at ForumIAS and a mentor. So if you see, freshers, if you have come, for you and for the veterans, the process to be followed under geography optional has to be completely different. Veterans, we know ki we have this basic idea exactly ki how the syllabus is, how to cover it, which are the books to study. So right now, if you see, most of you, have you ever written mains? Okay. If you see, the major problem with the veterans is that they don't know how to ensure that to fulfill the demand of the question. What exactly the question is demanding, what am I supposed to write in that question, and how to ensure that the answer itself is crisp and precise. And for the freshers, the problem lies how to look for the content, how much diagram are we supposed to put in, how much case studies are we supposed to put in, what are the values of numbers, data, statistics in geography, how to ensure that the concepts, especially the tough concepts, by now you'd have, if you remember, you'd have read Bosch and Haldenhang, the slope concepts given by Penck. So these, some of the terms are very difficult and very complicated. So for those concepts, we need to have a very clarity of concept. But you see, most of the classes here in Delhi, they offer just a test series. They will ask you to write test series, but they will not be able to provide you one-on-one mentoring session. In geography, if you want to excel, you must have a habit of writing extensively and getting it checked by a proper mentor to see exactly in which direction are we moving. Because you see, most of the test series here in Delhi itself, they will conduct tests. There will be thousands of students who will write, and they'll keep on writing. And just a general checkup of the answers. But you know, in such classes, teachers are not able to provide attention to each and every student. And thus, you see, only those students excel who were already privileged. So if you see, the geography ATS here is available with the facility of a mentor too. So in geography here itself, you can ensure that you can help out yourself by clearing out all the concepts regarding geography through the help of mentor. So if you see, so let's begin with what is geography. People who all are veterans, please wait, because I have so many questions here itself on the people who are watching online too. And I can see that most of them are freshers who are looking for what should be the strategy for paper 2, how we should prepare geography with respect to state PCS, mapping part, paper 2 current affairs linkage. And there are certain veterans too who have asked question as how to manage geography optional in 5th attempt, how to practice answer writing, how to tackle human geography, how to cover current affairs geography optional, and how to maximize marks. Okay. So these are the basic questions which I can see that the students have asked from me through their online portal. So first we see what is geography. Okay. So if you see what is geography, let's discuss what is geography first. You see, initially geographers, they said that geography was description of the Earth's surface, right? This is what we have understood. To describe Earth's surface, how it is unique. Okay. However, as time passed, people realized that just describing geography or the variables that distinguishes one place to another place was not sufficing the very purpose of the discipline. So in this, what happened? Sooner or later, what happened? People, now the geographers, moved from description to ensuring how there are variations on the Earth's surface. One place of the Earth is different from the another place of Earth. So first, before you have taken geography as your optional and you move ahead, let me just give you a brief description of what is geography. So I'll hardly take 5 to 10 minutes in explaining what is geography. Geography has evolved, the very discipline has evolved through times. Initially, from the mere description of Earth's surface to understanding the variations on the Earth's surface by studying the pattern of phenomena occurring over the Earth's surface. However, even just after understanding the variations, they realized that the causal relationship between various elements should be established in order to understand how one place is unique from the other place. And by now, if you would have heard Hartshorne, this is what Hartshorne talked in areal differentiation. Area, areal, And the word differentiation means to differentiate one area from the other area in terms of the uniqueness of its features. This is what geography began. However, soon thereafter, there is a term called quantitative revolution. There was advent of positivism. The numbers were undertaken to ensure that geography too can compete with other disciplines of science. But soon we realized that humans cannot be neglected, because human forms the sentinel aspect of any discipline. And then we see how humans became so integral in the study of geography as a discipline that in present time, geography, if you see the questions of civil services, most of the questions are applied questions. They are asking those questions which have relevancy. If you see, the static portions have decreased over time. They are no more asking you to just describe what is geosyncline, describe what is plate tectonics theory. Now they will ask you questions like, if you see this year question, they have asked questions on climate dome. They ask questions on carbon sinks. They ask questions on how climate change is affecting the prosperity, how land change and land cover pattern is affecting the food prosperity. You see, these all are relevant. If you see this time, there was wheat crisis, Russia-Ukraine crisis, and thus because of which there was a wheat crisis. And thus from this very idea, we understood that in geography, food security question is going to be paramount this year. And if you see, food security and nutritional security appeared in the paper. You see, pollution has assumed greater importance in times. Everywhere you see, people are talking about pollution, limits to growth model. Freshers, if you have not studied, no issue, we will study these concepts in the class. But these are some of the most famous models to which we will study under geography, and pollution is to be covered under limits to growth. So now geography has become very relevant. The relevancy aspect of geography has increased in terms of, if you see, climate change, energy crisis, food and nutritional crisis, soil erosion, biodiversity conservation. You see, all these aspects, you see, most of the questions will be covered under these pillars only, because even in UPSC, people are trying to ensure that the questions are more pertinent and as per the problems that are plaguing our society. So if you see, what is the scope of physical geography? So by now, do you understand what is the meaning of scope? Scope is the meaning of depth and breadth. In civil services, if you see, if this is a depth of a topic, we are not supposed to read completely until this depth. We are supposed to read only up to the superficial levels, because we will be a generalist. This is for general studies paper. However, for optional 2, we will not go until this deep. In optional, we will only cover a little more depth. A little more depth is needed to clear this exam. People who are becoming researchers in the field of geography, for them, you see, you are supposed to go until here. So do not waste your time in understanding or in reading more and more books. Please write down the basic mantra to clear geography and to score good marks in geography is: first, understanding the technical language. Understanding the technical language and able to write it down through your own language. Basic mantra is understanding the technical language and the potential to write that technical language through your own perspectives. Here in geography, what is the issue is that there will be so many technical terms in the geography optional. And if you have not been able to understand or comprehend or emulate those technical terms in your answer copy, your copy will just look like a general answer. And thus you see most of the students fall under the category of 220 to 240. Okay. Here you scoring between 220 to 240 means you have understood the concept, but you still do not have a strong hold over the technical language or command over the technical language of the subject. In order to have technical command, we need to study books. We need to study notes. So now first what is the first thing? The first thing is technical command. Okay. So now from where to bring this technical command? Now from where to bring this technical command? Notes / books. But we know in civil services there is a quote that says PDF सबका है, PDF पढ़े ना कोई. जो इंसान अपने हाथ से लिखे सफलता उसी को मिले. Okay. So we will not run after books. We know there are certain standard books, Savindra Singh, Rupa. Write it down, certain books that will be important. Savindra Singh, Physical Geography, Savindra Singh will suffice. If more you need for environmental geography, then please follow Savindra Singh Environmental Geography. So for this, only this much is needed. And then you see human geography. Human geography, you see Rupa. Rupa made both physical geography and human geography. Both Rupa is necessary. Apart from this, you see Majid Hussain models, theories and laws. And for perspectives, you don't need to worry. We will cover perspectives in detail in the class. And so we will give you enough content for the perspectives. And you see the pattern after 2018, I think the amount of questions from perspectives have decreased drastically. Even this year you see the questions from perspectives were from quantitative revolution and hardly 2 more questions. So you see how they have decreased the questions from perspectives and they have increased the questions from the relevant aspect of geography, because everywhere there is a fight to make the discipline more relevant. Okay. So these are the notes and books. And remember, we will read, whenever we read these books, we will mark it down ki what are the important points, and we will discard. Now this is a book and these are the lines. So I will mark that I am supposed to read only this and I am not supposed to read this. I am not supposed to read this. So next time when I read, I only read this and I read it at least 10 times. Okay. Reading the book time and again. Do not read 10 books. Read one book 10 times. This is the basic mantra to clear mains. So after you have done this, now the third aspect of how to cover this is collection of data, collection of diagrams, collection of maps, collection of case studies, collection of examples, collection of data, collection of case studies, collection of examples, collection of maps, collection of names of places. And from where? Here you will do this collection from first. We know newspaper is the most integral aspect of this preparation. Everything can be discarded, but the understanding of newspaper and following it religiously cannot be overlooked, because it is this that will tell you what are the important topics that are the country and the society is facing. So once we read ki soil degradation has become a very important issue, and if you are finding frequent initiatives like UNCCD conference here in India increasing its ambitious target under Bonn Convention, Sadhguru taking soil save campaign throughout the world, This means soil degradation topic must be prepared comprehensively, both for GS as well as for optional. Okay, so this is, and the other is magazine. But don't run after so many magazines. Just pick up one magazine. One magazine that you think you are comfortable with. होता क्या है, people start following, someone says कुरुक्षेत्र पढ़ना है, कोई बोलेगा डाउन टू अर्थ पढ़ना है, कोई बोलेगा geography and you पढ़ना है, कोई बोलेगा योजना पढ़ना है. Wherever you go, people will suggest you something different. What I would suggest, do not take suggestions of anyone. You go, you see which magazine suits you. In which magazine are you developing the interest to study? Then you see, for me, as I follow, I read Down to Earth because it covers all the aspects holistically for both GS as well as, or you can say ki second thing what you could do is Yojana. If the time permits and if you are able to follow these two magazines, I think it will suffice. And if you see, Down to Earth comes twice in a month. It comes once in a month. So sometimes when you do not get time, what you can do is that you can see what is the topic on which the magazine of that month is based. Sometimes you see they will write it electricity. Sometimes it will be governance in rural areas. Sometimes it will be pulses. So through this, what you can do is that if you see, you can pick it up and you can create your own examples, case studies, data from these so as to make your copy more relevant. Okay. So now we were talking about scope of physical geography. So first we have written technical command, second books, notes, third collection of datas, examples, case studies, diagrams, fourth, now you have technical command, now you have your notes, now you have this. So now is mugging up. Mug up paper 1. Paper 1 should be on your tongue. If I ask you, please tell me Penk's model of slope development, you must be aware what was the basis of Penk's model of slope development, what was the history before it, like Davis created it, how it was an critique to the Daviesian model of erosion of cycle, what are the different technological terms that Davis propagated, such as Bosch and Haldenhang. Okay, and then fifth is answer writing. And this is the most important aspect. We keep on looking for new and new questions, the basic mantra, and this is what we will incorporate in our test series. Pick up last 10-year questions. Pick up last 10-year questions and write it down. You see, even in exam, you see 50% of the questions have similarity from previous year's questions. Only 50% of the questions are new. So these 50% of the marks, this can be covered from understanding the previous last 10-year questions. Okay? So these 10-year questions can be covered. And so in our geography optional, how we do it, what we do it, we whatever test series we create, we will give 50% of the questions from last 10 years questions and only 50% of the questions from the current affairs, magazines, and the probable questions or the topics that have not been asked and has the propensity or the high probability to be covered. Okay? So this is the thing, last 10 years. I'm telling you, I am focusing again. This is the mantra to clear optional. If you understand if you understand all the questions that they have asked in last 10 years, remember 29 questions are there in paper 1 and 29 into 10, into 10. 600 questions. If you have the answers to all these 600 questions with proper diagram, with proper case studies, with proper introduction, proper conclusion, proper understanding of the concepts, then you will see, you will feel very confident from within. You will find geography as to be a very easy subject. And in fact, you will have your own notes. You'll see that this 600 will somehow come down to 300 major topics, because you see questions will be repeated too. So I'm taking that probability and I'm just saying 300 topics. So you have a notes of 300 topics too, in a crisp and precise manner. So you just need to revise time and again these 600 questions. And you see, we will ensure that we'll cover all these 600 questions somehow in our test series, these test series. And at least by the end of the test series, you will find very comfortable and convenient when you'll go through last 10-year questions. Okay? So moving ahead. So this is how we are supposed to do. Okay? Any doubts? अभी तक आपको कुछ doubts? Okay, then we are moving ahead. What is the scope of physical geography? Physical geography, you see, there are 5 topics in physical geography. First is geomorphology. Second is climatology. Third is oceanography. Fourth is biogeography. Fifth is environmental geography. Okay, if you all have gone through the topics, अभी तक समझ में आ गया होगा कि geomorphology अपने में एक optional है. This is an optional in itself. So we will devise our strategy accordingly for geomorphology. We are not supposed to put in this much of effort from where input comes only this much. In life, always remember, the input should be smartly put in so that the output increases, so that we can have much more time to work upon our essays, other GS papers, and other topics of the optional. So, and here you see in present times, this climatology and environmental geography has gained more importance. Climatology and environmental geography has gained more importance. And you see कि for geomorphology, you just have to read Savinder Singh. Savinder Singh plus value addition classes. Okay? Climatology, same, Savinder Singh plus value addition classes. But here you see in climatology, there are so many small terms. What is dew point? What is cirrus clouds? What are small terms? So remember, in climatology, make short notes. Make short notes of all these topics. You cannot make short notes for geomorphology. Geomorphology is too big. So always, how to devise it? Some of the topics we will read it from the book itself. And some of the topics we will try to make short notes. So we will have a combination of both. Kisi ka short notes, kisi ko directly from book. Because if you do not read book time and again, you will not develop the technical command. To develop technical command, ki how exactly they are writing in the book, we must somehow replicate those writings only in our answers. Because when they will check the copy, they will see ki whether the student has the potential to write as a geographer or not. Only then they will give you good marks. If you want to score more than 300 marks, you must write it technically. Like these are the technical words. These are the technical words. So these are the, and for that you must understand what is the meaning. If you do not understand what is the meaning, you will not be able to use it. Okay? To use it, we must understand. Key to understand. And you see, the easiest topics of this chapter is these two: oceanography and biogeography. These two are the easiest topics. So if we rate, I am going to rate it down. How am I supposed to put in the efforts? So if you see, for me, the easiest topic is oceanography. The questions from oceanography is very straightforward. You just have to mug up and just have to pen it down in the copy. The second is biogeography. You just have to mug up the names of the soils, the properties of the soils, the issues of the soils, and it's done. There are no so much technical technicalities. The technicalities in these two are very less. Here in third, I will place both the topics: climatology plus environmental geography. And fourth will be geomorphology. So remember, at least even if we are not able to cope up with geomorphology, we must be ready with these four topics. And especially these two topics. These two topics should be our stronghold in the paper. And then this topic and then this topic. Okay, this is how the strategy of paper. Oceanography, Savindra Singh will suffice. Biogeography, and for environmental geography, you can buy the book Environmental Geography by Savindra Singh. So in physical geography, we are reading only 3 books: Savindra Singh, Physical Geography; Savindra Singh, Environmental Geography; and Rupa made Geography. Okay, only these 3 things, and then the value addition notes and the concept clarity through the augmented test series. The word augmented itself means to augment your knowledge, especially the veterans who have accumulated knowledge from different coaching classes and to their own experiences. However, there must be certain lacking. Only then we have not been able to succeed in the exam. So to fill up those critical gaps, augmented test series will ensure that we dwell deeper into the questions of geography that forms the core foundation of understanding. Like if you see landform development, if you all have read geomorphology, landform development of Davis, Penck, Wood, Elsie King, and then non-cyclic concepts of J.T. Hack, Morisawa. If you understand these things properly, what they exactly told, then you will realize it becomes easy for you to understand other topics as well. But once you are not able to understand why are we using the word cyclic time and again in erosional cycle of concept, what this cyclic means, why we are saying sequential change of development, why are we using the word there is no beginning to the end and there is no vestige to any beginning. So if you see, if you understand these terms properly, understanding of geomorphology becomes very easy. Okay, so now moving on to the next scope of human geography. So you see, the first topic we cover here is perspectives in geography. Second here is economic geography. Third here is population geography. Fourth here is settlement geography. Fifth here is regional planning, and the sixth is models, theories and laws. So you see ki to understand geography, in this, two forms the foundation. Here in for human geography, two will form the foundation. What are those that will form the foundation? First is perspectives in geography, and the second is models, theories and laws in geography. If you are having a good command over perspectives in geography and models, theories and laws in geography, then you'll be able to use these ideas, the definitions, the technical terms that these two topics use in this topic, in this topic, in this topic, and in this topic. And again, the same will go to paper 2. So first, in fact, our test series will start with perspectives in geography. Perspectives in geography and then models, theories and laws. Once we are done with these two basic topics, then we will see how we will keep on using the ideas, the terms like limits to growth. We must not, what you see most of the teachers suggest that these models should be incorporated in most of the questions. It should not be forceful introduction or forceful घुसा रहे हैं कि बस पता है मुझे limits to growth तो मैं limits to growth लिख दे रहा हूं. The word limits to growth in your statement must come seamlessly. It should be like you are writing, you are a writer and you are using these terms seamlessly in your answers. Perspectives in geography, you see how Carl Sauer talked about cultural paradigm. So whenever the culture of question is coming, then we can say how the cultural paradigm of Carl Sauer has resulted into different understanding of cultural aspect of the world. This is the statement. Here it shows that you understand Carl Sauer. You are using the names of the geographers. From here we will learn one thing. In geography, naming the name of the books and the name of the geographers are very important. It shows that you are a student of geography. So you see ki we, after covering these two topics, what I feel which is the easy topic here is regional planning. Regional planning is a very easy topic. You just have to understand what are regions, what are the planning, and once you have understood, it will become easy. Then after this comes settlement geography. The concepts, they have clearly mentioned the concepts in settlement geography. Here the two toughest is economic geography and population. The concepts in population is easy, but it has so much of data. Infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, longevity, workforce, sex ratio, child sex ratio, literacy rates of the world and India. Of the world and India. So there is so much of data. So we will also see how to consolidate the oceanic amount of data that this topic holds. Okay, and economic geography, the word itself, could you see economic? Economic geography is also an option in itself, because here you will read about growth and development, here you will read about world trade, here you will read about agriculture, here you will read about industries, here you will read about services. So it is itself. So now you can see these are the topics that we actually read in GS too. So now I have given you a brief picture of geography and the relative weightage that we as a student should devote on these topics. And how are we supposed for these topics? Please write the books. Perspectives के लिए आप you can prefer R.D. Dikshit. But here my class notes will be more important. Don't read these books. My class notes for perspectives and for model theories and laws. We will cover these two topics in detail. Okay. And for regional planning, settlement geography, population economic geography, Rupa made geography is simple and Majid Hussain. Majid Hussain and Rupa made simple plus my class additional class notes and test series. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. So now the word dichotomy and dualism. See, now I have chosen this word deliberately for this orientation class. कि we must understand the nuances of these technical terms. अगर ये technical terms नहीं पता होंगे तो फिर इनको incorporate करने में बहुत issue आएगा. So dichotomy and dualism, they both are parallel school of thoughts. Dichotomy says these two thoughts cannot exist together. Only one will have to exist, or it will lead to a bifurcation in discipline. This is dichotomy. Whereas if you see dualism says that these two parallel thoughts can coexist with each other, which will further lead to enrichment of the discipline. So, do you see that physical geography and human geography, are these two dichotomous or dualistic? Are these dichotomous or dualistic? Just think. I'm giving you 2 minutes to. Look, I'm telling you again, see how the importance of technical terms in geography is. If I am not able to understand properly the technical terms like dichotomy, like dualism, we will not be able to use it properly even in paper 2. While even in paper 2, we must use these terms. You see that most of the institutes I have understood that they will tell you to incorporate paper 1 in paper 2. But those incorporations cannot be forceful and random. Rather than what I suggest that follow that suggestion plus try to use the technical language while writing answers. This technical language. So I'll tell you again, dichotomy and dualism. Dichotomy says two parallel school of thought which cannot coexist because it will lead to bifurcation of the discipline. Dualism says two parallel school of thought which can coexist as it will lead to enrichment of the discipline. So here it is minus and here it is plus. And we will keep on incorporating these small diagrams for our understanding. Only then it will help us. So tell us, is physical geography and human geography dichotomous or dualistic? Dualistic. Agar dichotomous hota, तो we would have not read these two. But just now we understood that in our syllabus both these topics have been mentioned. This means these both are parallel thoughts, but they are coexisting. Because only these two together will make geography more comprehensive, holistic, and enriched as a discipline. And we cannot neglect human. Just now we discussed how the importance of humans in geography has increased. And because of these human, if you see the questions of civil services, the problems regarding humans are more focused. And the physical geography, you see, even in physical geography, only those questions which have its inclination towards the problems of humans. Like they asked a question on applied aspect of slope management. There was a question कि the theories or the models developed on slope development do not completely reflect towards the slope management. We have talked about slope development profiles of Penck, Davis, L.C. King. They have all talked about parallel retreat, decline, wasting. We will all read these terms. Don't worry if any students who are new and who are watching. You need not worry. We will cover all these terms in the class in comprehensively. But you see कि these just having these knowledge, is it sufficing? The issue of landslide. You see कि the issue of landslides have increased recently. Tulung Valley in Manipur. Few years back there was a Munnar in Kerala. Some devastating landslides recently in Himachal Pradesh too, when there was cloudburst in the Kinnaur district. So see, when I'm saying this, you must incorporate कि I have underlined these examples from the current affairs. So these knowledge must get incorporated in the applied aspect as well. If it's not there in the applied aspect, it will become difficult. Okay? So now we are moving on to the next, relevance of human geography. Relevance of geography. You see, you tried certain topics. You see, and you think ki how the geography has become more relevant in present times in solving the pressing issues of our society. The first, we all know, the most pervading issue across the world is climate change. Climate change and associated climatic vulnerabilities. Under this, please write it down, some things and which you need to ponder upon. Okay, like global warming, sea level rise, global warming, sea level rise, ocean acidification, coral bleaching, inundation of coastal lands, intensification of tropical storms, cyclones, recurrent floods and recurrent droughts and torrential rainfalls, recurrent droughts and torrential rainfalls, rising incidences of forest fires and heat waves, rising incidences of forest fires and heat waves written. So this is one, the relevance of, you see, one is the issue of climate change. Desertification, you write in this, desertification, biodiversity extinction. So you see how much issues have resulted just because of one topic. The other is energy. You see, this is one, energy. In energy crisis, you see issues or the reasons for energy crisis. Spatial pattern of energy crisis. Temporal aspect of energy crisis. Solutions for energy crisis. Issues associated with coal. You see कि coal is again on, initially few years countries have been fighting to put coal on the back burner and move towards renewable energies. But the present energy crisis has forced all the countries to go back to where they started. Every country has started the policies. Again, they are pushing the policies towards coal production. Okay. Then here you should talk about coal-based methane. You should talk about solar energy. You should talk about wind energy. You should talk about tidal energy. You should talk about methane clathrates, that is also known as fire ice. Now, next topic is food security and crisis. Food security. Food security, you see the terms such as availability, accessibility, and affordability. These three forms the pillars. Food accessibility, affordability, and availability. Food utilization. Just take few time and think upon it. Go through the issues. You see ki the relevancy of geography. Do you see these issues as GS question too? Whatever I have mentioned, all the questions can appear in GS too, because these are the main issues that the world is facing right now. You see, if you can write one more, geopolitics. In geopolitics, you see the importance of Indian Ocean region, role of South Asia in the geopolitics of world, importance of South China Sea, India China bilateral relation, origin dimension. Okay, what is, so now we have discussed about relevancy. You see how much relevant geography is, and you can see ki how, so now we see ki geography itself is very wide and broad. It is so wide and broad that we need to ensure that our approach towards geography becomes smart geography. So here, in while studying the test series, we will follow the concept of smart geography. Smart geography, first, understanding geography through geographical prism. First will be understanding geography through geographical prism. Whatever terms, whatever issues we will read it through the prism of geography. And so we will see ki how different geographical perspectives needs to be visualized. Different geographical perspectives. Any one issue we will talk, and we will see it from the prism of geography. Second, that we will talk about here in smart geography is incorporation of diagrams, case studies, and examples in a crisp and precise manner. Incorporation of case studies, diagrams, datas, numbers. Then we will develop technical command. Technical command of all the difficult topics. Technical command of all the difficult topics. And the fourth will strategies फॉर कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ नॉलेज, स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होने चाहिए फॉर कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ नॉलेज, स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ नॉलेज. Okay, and the fifth part will be answer writing practice. How to do the answer writing practice. First is हर issue को geographical prism से देखेंगे. साथ में we will try to ensure that through this prism we will develop technical command. With technical command we will see कि how to further incorporate case studies, data example case studies. Then जो भी पढ़े हैं how to consolidate the knowledge, and then how to replicate it in answer writing, and then the complete process is done from understanding a issue to replicating it in your answer. This is the complete process of geography, and this is where we will use smart geography. Most of the concepts we will learn only through diagrams, so that if you remember the diagram and the nuances behind it, we will suffice the complete geography. Okay, so let's take a break. We'll meet again after 10 minutes. Okay, so welcome back again. So we have covered how we will covering the geography optional test series through the prism of smart. Now the very pertinent question of the day: why geography as an optional? Why geography as the optional when people say कि geography is as vast as an ocean itself? शुरू में पता नहीं चलता है, लेकिन जैसे ही हम कूदते हैं हमें पता चलता है कि geography अपने में एक समुद्र है. And to cover this ocean, we need to give up all what we have within ourselves. This is what this optional demands. But you see, there are so much advantage of why geography. First, 500 marks optional itself. Then you know in essay we all these topics, energy crisis, climate change, food crisis, geopolitics, everything will be incorporated in essay. You see how much diverse knowledge we will accumulate. Okay, then you see in best part is prelims. Prelims you see environment, ecology and geography. It is very easy for the geography optional people to crack prelims because of the diverse knowledge that we gather under this optional. Now, and then in later on we will cover ki how GS 1, 2, 3, all three will ensure कि it too has certain overlap with geography portion. By now, most of you, if you all have gone through the syllabus of GS 1, 2, 3, you will understand कि geography is going to play a very critical role. If you develop a very good command over paper 2, you by nature will have a very good command over GS 1, 2 and 3. And this is what I am speaking from my experience, because I have always scored more than 400 marks in all the mains in GS and in essay more than 140. Only because I can say that geography helped me a lot in ensuring or getting more marks in GS and essay. Okay. Now we have talked about the physical and human geography paper 1, the topics. Physical geography and human geographies are also there in paper 2. You see physical settings, natural resources. In physical geography, 2 topics are there: physical settings and natural resources. And in human geography, you see agriculture, industries, trade, communication and transport, ITC, population, settlement, regional planning, political aspect and contemporary issues. all these topics will be covered under human geography of paper 2. But physical and natural, two portions, the first two topics are very similar to physical geography. Now we will see the overlap with GS and essay. In GS Studies 1, we read society and geography. So geography will be done from our optional itself. Here in society, you see the topics like population, urbanization, tribal. Here, if you would have gone through the GS1 paper, you see that there was a question that tribal locations in India can be grouped under certain pockets. You see how we would have used geographical knowledge, which is here. Bhils, Santhals, Gonds. See the pockets of tribal people in India. This diagram was to be incorporated in GS1 under the tribal question. This is Bhils. This is Santhals. This is Gonds. Here you know there are so many tribes: Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, Dafla, Miri, Abor, Mismi, Karabuk, Kuki, Meiti, Naga, Lushai. Here you will see Jarawas, Sentinelese, Sompen, Onges, Andamanis, Nicobaris, all these. So you see most of the tribes can be grouped under these 5 pockets. And we will read it under cultural setting. You see international relations. This year there was a question on I2U2. So we could have drawn a diagram. I2U2 who? Israel, UAE, India, and then a block could have been made of USA. And we could have talked how these 4 are changing the paradigms of Indo-Pacific. So how the geographical knowledge will be incorporated in international relations. Then social justice. Social justice, they talk about schemes. Like we will read Forest Rights Act. We will have so many case studies. We will prepare so many case studies. These case studies will be useful while writing answers. Economy, we know economy has so much portion with geography, infrastructure, energy, agriculture, everything we will read under geography in economy. You see environment and ecology, a complete portion. Disaster management, complete portion. And internal security too. Why terrorism, what correlation does terrorism has with terrain? See, geography. Internal security, they will ask you draw the map and show the red pockets, the red corridor of Naxalism. We must know the geographical regions: Dantewara, Bastar, Durg, Gaddichiroli, Palamu, Chatra, Simaria. The places, these are the hotbeds. And we know in geography we also do mapping exercises. So you see ki GS3 has a complete overlap. If you just remove the static part of economy and science and technology, then I can guarantee you that this will have a complete overlap with geography. Because here you will also read ICT. In geography we read ICT. In geography we read space technology. Everything is mentioned in the syllabus. So you see there is a complete overlap. So it will be benefited a lot. And we will try to incorporate those questions under paper 2 so that we also cover the important aspects of GS 1, 2 and 3. Remember this, the test series will cover important questions which are there in the news, so that it also helps you in scoring good marks in GS 1, 2 and 3. But while writing the answers of GS 1, 2, 3 and while writing the answers of paper 2, they will differ, and they will differ drastically. And this is the magic that we will learn here in the class. How to ensure that the answers here in 1, 2, 3 and the answer in paper 2 have a different dimension of writing, different methodology. And that is why I have told you we will discuss the issue through the prism of geography. Okay? An essay. You see, if you read the essays of this time, you will find that there is so much similarity of geography, and there are so many questions from geographical dimension. You see, forests are the best case studies for economic excellence. Look, this is a question that is completely of geography. Okay? You cannot step twice in the same river. Again, the geographical word has been mentioned, river. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. You see, the world is undergoing food crisis, the world is undergoing energy crisis, the world is undergoing climate change. So now is the time to repair the roof, because now you see these issues are just emerging. The global supply chains have been disrupted because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and there has been alignment of new countries. They are establishing a new supply chain. So India too needs to ensure that we too become an integral part of this global supply chains through our network products. Okay. So you see, even in essays too this year, a ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ship is for. Ship, ocean, tsunami, geography. You see how much correlation is there with the essay topics and geography and the different topics that we will read. You see, we read disaster, we read ecology, we read agriculture, we read industries, we read energy, we read infrastructure, we read population, we read society, we read geopolitics. Everything, and these things will form the core of essay. So it's a very good optional to be read. Moving ahead. Ingredients of geography. Now, how to prepare for paper 1 we have discussed. What are the books to study? How to study. किसी का short notes बनेगा, किसी को book से directly पढ़ेंगे. Books से directly क्यों पढ़ना है? So that we get to understand कि what kind of technical language they are writing. If we are not able to understand the technical language, it will become difficult for you to incorporate it in your answers. Now we will focus more on paper 2 here. Correlation with paper 1 and static part. Now you pick up any one question on geography GS2. Chalo, we'll pick up one question. And we will try to correlate. Correlation with paper 1 means two types. First is the technical terms that we have read in paper 1. And second is the models, theories, laws. And third is the perspective. And fourth is the technical concept. Technical concept terms, models, theories and laws, and perspectives. The learnings from all these three have to be incorporated in the answers while writing paper 2. Okay, these static part and all. See here the question was in this year paper, critically examine the factors affecting the unpredictability of southwest monsoon system in India. It is a 20 marker question. And you see why this question appeared. We know southwest monsoon is very important and it has been clearly mentioned in the syllabus, and these questions appear time and again. But why the unpredictability? You see, climate change is the word. Climate change has led to unpredictable behavior of southwest monsoon. And by initially, if you would have read southwest monsoon, you will remember the first concept is the which concept? Classical concept of Hadley. Then the second concept is dynamic concept of flow-in. Then third is role of Tibetan Plateau, P. Koteshwaram. Fourth is Monix expedition. Role of upper air circulation. But here the question is of unpredictability. These are the things that we would have read in paper 1, when we would have read monsoon. But these things needs to be incorporated in paper 2 itself. Apart from this, what we will do? We will use certain data from current affairs that shows that the rainfall in Northeast India has increased, has a variability of 25%. We must have a map which shows the rainfall variability in India, which is clearly even mentioned in NCERT. This map needs to be drawn. Then we need to mention Madden-Julian oscillation, Indian Ocean dipole, ENSO, circulation, El Nino, La Nina. You see these technical terms, if you had the command, you could have written 8 to 9 points. Out of 20, they were bound to give you 14 to 15 marks. If you would have written it proper with proper diagrams, with proper linkages from the current affairs. Because in recent times you would have read there are so many articles how the unpredictability has increased. So now I have picked one question from physical geography. Let me pick another question from another geography, human geography. Okay. The peninsular location of India, there is another question. The peninsular location of India provides scope for harnessing non-conventional energy resources. So first we need to understand what is non-conventional energy resources. This could have been our intro, or the intro could have been energy crisis in the present times. Okay, because we knew energy crisis was occurring, so a question was bound to come from the energy. So now then we'll talk what are the conventional first through diagram, and then we could have talked non-conventional. Non-conventional what? First could be tidal energy. Tidal energy we know here Durga Dwani and here Gulf of Cambay has prospects. Second, we could have talked about ocean thermal energy conversion. Third, we could have talked about methane clathrates, dry ice, fire ice that are being found here and here. Fourth, we could have talked about thorium reserves in Kerala and Mahanadi Basin. Fifth, we could have talked about wind energy, solar energy. See how much, 6 marks, 15 marker question. If you are writing 6 to 7 points, they will give you 10 marks. Nothing more you can achieve. And these all things we would have covered under different aspects. So here, in this aspect, now how will you incorporate paper 1 concept here? So here, how to incorporate paper 1 is a thing. We know energy crisis and we know limits to growth. They talked कि how with time, with growing population, there will be limits to growth, and they talked about energy too. So we could have talked about limits to growth model here. Okay, then we should have further sufficed through examples and datas, case studies, like Durga Dwani project in Mangrove Sundarban, 3 megawatt project, tidal energy. So these case studies, examples, we could have talked about wind energy. Solar and solar wind combined, the largest project created by Adani at Jaisalmer. We could have talked about solar energy floating plant in Telangana. So here you see that these all things can be covered under. In not all the questions we can incorporate the learnings from paper 1, but still there is ample scope if we try. Okay. And then you see dynamism through current affairs. You see all the questions. Chalo, I'll read the questions and I'll show you ki how they all are so much relevant and to current affairs. Why has extreme particular pollution remained a festering issue in Delhi NCR? Okay, it is a very general question. Pollution in Delhi NCR. Everybody talks about it every day. Whenever winter and Diwali comes, this is the topic of the newspaper. How do physiography and climate of India explain the biological diversity of the country? Generic question. The process of desertification leads to soil desiccation and soil loss. We talked. Sadhguru Soil Safe campaign was going on. So there was a question bound on soil desertification and soil degradation. Critically examine the factors affecting the unpredictability of southwest monsoon. Again, same thing. Newspapers were covering how climate change is leading to the change in the pattern of southwest monsoon. How rainfalls in these regions, in the unpredictability is rising. The unpredictability in these regions are rising. Rain is concentrating in time and space. You see Assam, you see Bangalore, you see Hyderabad, you see Mumbai. All these have witnessed devastating floods in recent times. Okay. The peninsular location of India provides for harnessing non-conventional energy resources. Energy crisis was in news. So there was a question bound to appear on energy. Groundwater contamination in the fast expanding urban landscape. Look, ground contamination, groundwater. Again a generic question. Every year there is a question on groundwater. Discuss the recent changes brought about in institutional framework of agriculture. We know why agriculture is very important. Climate change से agriculture affect हो रहा है. When India banned wheat export because of the Russia-Ukraine crisis, WTO criticized India's step. So agriculture में institutional framework, and we also know recently there was so much hue and cry regarding 3 agricultural laws that the government promulgated, enacted. So you see this question is appearing from there. Discuss the continuing dispute on water sharing. Water sharing and dispute is a perennial problem. Sometimes you will talk about here, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu is always fighting over the issue of Kaveri. Chhattisgarh and Orissa is always fighting over the issue of Mahanadi. Satluj water, Haryana, Punjab, Haryana, Delhi. Yamuna water, Haryana, Delhi. There is always fight. Always there is a fight of canal. You see sometimes Delhi witnesses water crisis because the upper riparian states have not released water. Soils of India are clear reflection of the structure and process. Generic question. And अभी तक सिर्फ 2 question static question है. How do physiography and climate of India explain the biological diversity of the country? And soils of India are clear reflections of the structure and process. Only these 2 questions are static. Rest all the questions are from dynamism through current affairs. You see how important is current affairs for paper 2. Then India is bestowed with rich mineral resources due to its geological structure. Static question. Geological structure पता करना है सबका. We know there are various regions here, 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 here. There are 5 major regions of resources. Chota Nagpur Plateau Belt, all have distributed. Here it is Karnataka, Goa and all. Here we know Tamil Nadu region. Here we know Chhattisgarh Basin region. And here is one of the regions of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan region. Discuss the importance of dry land farming. Again, dry land farming is a question that they repeat every year, 2 to 3 years. Incidents of extreme rainfall events and flash floods in recent times have led to devastating consequences of people living in low lying. Again, the question on flood, which is very pertinent because Assam was devastated in flood, Bangalore was devastated in flood, and every year one or the other cities are getting devastated through floods. Look, discuss the impact of Forest Rights Act. Right now we discussed ke under governance. We will read Forest Rights Act. Can the Panchayati Raj institutions play a role in grassroots level planning? Static question. Discuss the significance of new ports on the western coast of India on the external trade. We know India has come up with Sagarmala project. And under Sagarmala, government is creating new ports because we know India is trying to boost its export. In the present government regime is focusing so much to boost its export, and we know ports are the gateway cities that will increase our ports. So first we could have talked about what are the geographical features that favors development of ports here. Then under Sagarmala project, what kind of ports have been created, and now then what kind of, how it will lead to energy rich Gulf countries. Project Monsoon of South African outreaching to Africa, then through Suez Canal going to Atlantic Ocean. See, geography, more knowledge, and you just need to write the basic geography. This aspect, what are the geographical features that favors. This is static only, rest everything is dynamic here. Then discuss the how would the decline in total fertility rate below the replacement in many states of India affect the future population structure of the country. You know, in recent times, Niti Economic Survey has said that India has reached the total fertility level at 2, below the replacement level. And it was in the news. So it was in the news, so it was bound to appear as a question. Such important data that India, the country with a huge population of 1.4, it has reached the replacement level, below replacement level, the fertility levels. This means it's a good news for India. So we must understand now what could be the possible impacts or consequences of such a transformatory change on the spatial, on the regional geography. में हमेशा याद रखना, always remember, always write your answers from the geographical perspective, a real differentiation. This is what geography is. To understand how one place A is different from B, or if a particular issue has come A, how this is affecting this, how this is affecting this, how this is affecting this, how this will affect this. If the climate change is coming, is it affecting the complete area equally? No. Climate change is affecting different areas differently. Here, other issues are occurring. Mountainous regions, other issues are occurring. Desert regions, other issues are there. Plain regions, rivers are drying up. Plateau region, you see, groundwater is depleting. Here, tropical cyclones are storming. Cities, floods are occurring. तो देखो geography को regional basis में तोड़ेंगे, and we will develop more dimensions of understanding and thinking of writing answers. In class test series, I will help you in developing the geographical aptitude to think. the more you think on the geographical basis of different places, your answers will become very rich and diverse and more enriched. Kalapani Dispute has opened a new front. It was a probable question from last 2 to 3 years, but it is the question that appeared this year. Kalapani issue. We know Kalapani issue. It's again a geographical. This is Nepal. Here is Lipu Lake, Kalapani, Limpiadhura. Nepal says the boundary should be drawn from here. India says the boundary should be drawn from here. So now we will talk about what could be the consequences of this new opening up of front on the Nepal-India relationship. And we know there is one more country here sitting. How they will try to put a wedge on the bilateral relationship on the issue of this dispute, because this Lipu Lake is located at a tri-junction of India, Nepal and China. Okay. You see, most of the questions there are more or similar on the same terms. Nothing more, nothing less. I just wanted to show you how the dynamism in paper 2 has increased and how we must be ready with the current affairs. They again have asked IRNSS NAVIC. IRNSS NAVIC last 2020, they again asked the space programs critically examine the privatization of space programs. So if you see, notice the present government has focused so much on the space programs. The Honorable Prime Minister goes and meet the chairman of ISRO. The ISRO is diversifying its economy while privatizing some of its arms so as to ensure that there are more proliferation of space startups in the Indian ecosystem, as well as there are more collaborations between the private sectors as well as the defense sectors of other economies, space sector. So you see कि every year one question on space is appearing. So agar if we understand such patterns, then it will be easy for us during the examination as well. So moving ahead. So needs of geography optional students, sustainable preparation and high score in mains. So they have asked some of the questions ki how can we score high score in mains? And high score means 300 and above, or that is 280 and above. Okay. So first is holistic and comprehensive coverage of syllabus. The syllabus itself is too vast. Okay. The syllabus itself is too vast that we hardly get enough time to have the complete syllabus. But we must complete the important development of geographical aptitude through geographical prism. Right now I showed you how the problems are to be addressed through regional basis. The very basis of geography is study the uniqueness of one space with another. So always remember, always try to write the answers through geographical prism. Show how different places have different issues, how different geographical interventions are needed, how different geographical places needs different strategies to solve the issues. Understanding the dynamics and changing pattern of geography means, you see in paper 2 dynamism has increased. In paper 1 also too the static part has reduced. They are focusing more on the dynamic aspect which is more tilted or inclined towards the relevancy of geography. Content building. We must have good content to write. Only then we will be able to compete with other students. So once we also need to have good content, but just having good content will not satisfy until unless you have the clarity of concepts here. If you have the clarity of concepts along with the content, then you can replicate it through answer writing. You see, I have written it hierarchically. First, I need to know the syllabus, from where to cover all the syllabus. Then how to develop the geographical aptitude. If I have developed the geographical aptitude, how to understand the dynamics and the changing pattern of geography means. After that, how to prepare the content. After preparation of content, how to ensure that all of my concepts are clear. Then answer writing and structuring, and ultimately there is preparation of short notes. What people does, now let me focus upon the short notes, a certain aspect. People start doing short notes right from the beginning. The moment they pick up a book, they start making short notes. In that process, what we do is that we replicate the book again. And again, our short notes become bulky and lengthy like our constitution. So initially, you should not make short notes. Read and read and read and read. Try to read time and again, write more answers. Once you are done कि okay, ये concept clear है मुझे, ये सब कुछ done है, then you try to make short notes and write only those terms which you think are important for you to remember during the exam. That if I remember कि Mendel-Julian oscillation is the word that strikes, I can write it down. I just need to write MJO, what is MJO? This. Indian Ocean Dipole. I just need to remember MJO and IOD. Okay, so this is what is sustainable preparation and high score. I am telling you again. Here, the more focus should be on geographical aptitude, clarity of concepts, answer writing and structuring. These three are the pillars to score more marks. Students, online students who have asked me this question, please note it down. The process of scoring high marks depends upon geographical aptitude, clarity of concepts, understanding the dynamics. Okay? So let me pick up some questions that they have asked here. How to practice answer writing? For answer writing to practice, you see where I have put answer writing in geography. Initially, if you are a veteran, you can begin your answer writing any day. But if you are a fresher, start answer writing with those topics where you are comfortable first, so that you boost up your confidence. Do not pick up difficult topics and start doing answer writing. Pick up easy subjects, easy topics. And पेपर 1 में रट्टा लगाना है और पेपर 2 को लिखना है. Paper 1 we should mug up like hell. Just mug up all thing and keep on incorporating this mugged up knowledge on your paper 2. Okay, this paper 2, keep on writing answers and come and meet me in my mentoring sessions, and I will help you and let you know what are the critical gaps in your answers, what kind of case studies you could have incorporated, what new diagrams you could have incorporated, introduction कैसे लिखना था, how to write conclusion, what content is missing. Okay, so this is what you are supposed to do. So for answer writing is this thing. So if you see, how to tackle human geography I have already covered. How to cover current affairs with respect to geography optional I have covered. I have shown you current affairs, I have given you relevancy. Current affairs, you cannot read all the current affairs. You must understand only those topics of current affairs which has greater importance in solving the pressing issues. You see the topics of GS2, that questions they have asked. These all are very pertinent problems that keep on occurring year on year basis. Every year there are certain articles or something on these topics. Okay. Then how to maximize scores? This is the process of how to maximize scores. Keep on writing paper, keep on mugging up paper 1 concepts and keep on writing paper 2 answers. And please meet me. The only path here, the best part about this ATS geography test series is you have a mentor. You do not have a teacher here, you have a mentor. So if you want to have a guru-shishya relationship, please come and meet me and I'll help you in your fulfilling your dreams. Strategy for paper 2. Just let me discuss this. Strategy for paper 2. A strategy for paper 2 is very basic. Khuller is there. Khuller is a very comprehensive book. You read Khuller, you read newspaper, you read one magazine, and my value addition class. These 4 will suffice. But once you have done through this, what you will do? You will pick up each and every topic from paper 2 and you will make a 2 to 3 page notes on every topic that has been mentioned in GS2. You must have a notes of 2 to 3 page on every topic that they have mentioned in GS2, paper 2. This is the best way. This is the best way to prepare for paper 2. Because you see, and now you must understand that paper 2, the current dynamism has increased. So you must also understand what are the main topics that they have mentioned in paper 2 should be covered. You should not give the complete focus or complete priority to all the topics. You must create a hierarchy of among all the topics. And within these hierarchies, you must understand which are the topics that are occurring every year. So read previous year question papers and see, like you see, dry land farming in last 5 years they have asked it thrice. Space question in last 5 years they have asked every year. Groundwater contamination, southwest monsoon, urbanization ka problems, issues related to language, water dispute. You see, these questions frequently appear year on year basis. So if you have prepared through test series, I told you 600 questions, you will find that 50 to 60% of the questions will get repeated. So don't run for random questions. Random questions or random topics, you must focus only on these previous year's questions and then you will clear the exam. Okay? Preparation of geography with respect to state PCS. There's a new question, that is how to prepare geography with respect to state PCS. State PCS and geography syllabus of UPSC are more or less. In fact, they completely overlap with certain differences. It's only the answer writing between these two that will differ. In UPSC, they ask you just to write it within 250 words. However, in state PCS, you are supposed to write it in 500 to 600 words. So if you have the knowledge, writing this is more easy. Writing in 250 words, crisp, precise, the same thing becomes difficult. And you need to have a very crisp writing of answers, so that you do not start explaining everything, because it eats up the space and time and you are not left with enough space and time. Time geography of Hagerstrand, that both space and time are constraints in the development process. and the same factor lies with writing answers. So what I would suggest ki you keep on writing, you keep on reading geography from the prism of UPSC, and you just keep on writing answers of 500 to 600 and nothing for state PCS more. Keep developing your understanding from the test series, and you can write and you can come to me and I will check it ki whether how to ensure that if you ever fall short of words, I'll let you know how to increase the content while writing the geography for state PCS. Rest everything is to be followed as it is being followed for the civil services preparation. Because ऐसा थोड़ी होगा बारिश यूनियन के लिए अलग होगी, स्टेट के लिए अलग होगी. बारिश तो दोनों का प्रोसेस एक ही होगा. Okay? Then mapping part of paper 2. Look, mapping, you see, two things are important. Static, dynamic. So static, you see previous year's questions, you solve them, then you pick up topic wise, mountains, rivers, peaks, lakes, dams, nuclear plants, islands, passes, glaciers. You draw, you prepare a notes on all these, and then you keep on reading newspaper. And if you see ki every day you can have 4 to 5 news important locations, and you can keep on jotting it down. But I would say don't waste so much time here, because you don't know what kind of locations they are going to ask. So here the same principle. Input will be this much, output will be very less. So we must be very strategic in our preparation, and we must ensure that we do not devote enough time other than on static, and only dynamic those that you think ki they are their occurrence in newspapers are on a recurrent basis, that time and again such locations have assumed greater importance, like creation of certain important tunnels, Jawahar Tunnel, Atal Tunnel, creation of certain dams, important dams, or certain rivers has appeared in the news which has witnessed devastating floods or devastating landslides or cloudburst. So keep on picking these locations from the newspaper. Paper 2 current affairs linkage, we have discussed it through this year's question paper. And then how to manage geography optional in 5th attempt with a job. Okay, this is a good question. How to manage geography optional in 5th attempt with a job. Look here now, since you are having a job, you may not have enough time. So your focus must be on first ATS learning. We will have 2 value addition class every time, then 1 test, then plus 1 discussion. So if you see ki for 1 to 2 topics, we will have 4 classes. 2 value addition class, 1 test, and then 1 discussion. So in these 3 classes, we will try to cover all the 600 previous year's questions. Important questions that will have higher probability to occur next year. Okay? So your focus should be on clarity of concept from paper 1, mugging up the concepts from paper 1, appearing all the tests of ATS, and at the same time practicing previous year's questions. Only this much. People who are having job, you must ensure that you do previous year's questions answer writing plus ATS test series, and paper 1 mugging up of concepts done. Your geography will be covered comprehensively through these 3 things. It seems to be easy. to say कि previous years questions कर लेना, but it is very difficult to write previous years questions on the basis that how it is supposed to be written. Next, deliverables through augmented test series. It will be a need based preparation. अगर आपको इंग्लिश में नहीं समझ में आ रही है, प्लीज लेट मी नो कि आई एम सपोज टू मेक इट अंडरस्टैंड इन हिंदी टू. I will use both the languages, Hindi, English. Topic based preparation. That first we will cover landforms, then slopes, then sometimes we will pick up industries. Okay, wholesome and comprehensive coverage of syllabus through question and answer format. In the class itself, while we will be covering the topics, we will see how we will cover the syllabus through question and answer format. Then understanding through geographical prism, we have already discussed. Any issue we will pick up and we will break it. Agriculture में क्या होगा, industries में क्या impact आएंगे, ICT का क्या होगा, trade how it will be affected, tourism how it will be affected, settlement how it will be affected, geopolitics, climate change. You see, all these are topics of paper 2, and these are the headings of your answer writing, subheadings. It is a form of answer writing. So through this prism we will develop answer writing skills in geography. Then holistically researched and relevant answers. What will happen here? I will give you datas, I will give you case studies, I will give you examples which you will incorporate. Then doubt solving sessions. There will be a personal mentoring session here. This is the best part about this is doubt solving through personal mentoring sessions. You would have seen that everybody is taking geography, but when the doubts appear, they have no one to go to. किसके पास जाएं, किससे doubts पूछें, कौन बताएगा मुझे? So here the best part is, please meet me and come along with your doubts. I will help you how to solve these doubts. Then every individual has different strategies. Some individual will face in writing answers. Some individual will face in understanding of concept. Someone will have issues in understanding English. So I will help you on an individual basis. I will understand what are the areas where you lack, what are the critical gaps in your preparation, and what are the areas where I need to cement. And then there will be sessions to develop presentation skills. For prelims we will do mapping, diagrams, everything. Like if in one particular class we will pick up complete India and we will draw all the mountain ranges. In one diagram, in one class we will pick up and we will do all the peaks, national parks, national reserves, so that it helps you in prelims too. Because there's no point of writing answers when you do not clear prelims. Prelims is the main stage. You must clear prelims, and I will help you in ensuring that all the important topics and such simple questions you are able to handle after this test series. Okay? So now preparation strategies. How to proceed in these 3 months, coming these 3 months. How are we supposed to proceed? I will tell you beforehand what are we going to study. You will study from book. From the books that I have mentioned, you will study from the book. You will come in the class, I will teach you, and again you will go and you will read my notes. So in a day you will read it thrice to cement it. And you will come for my personal mentoring session to clear any doubts if still it remains. And then you will go and take a test. Copy will get evaluated. You will come with your copy to me. I will help you in restructuring कि कहाँ पे क्या करना चाहिए था. What went missing? You did not write limits to growth. You could have incorporated von Thunen here. You could have drawn this diagram here. You could have used this case study here. You could have used such examples here. That here the conclusion does not look good. The body part lacks certain aspects. So this is the process that we will undertake in this test series. Distribution of timing, 50% GS, 50% optional, always. Every subject is important, and this is the time when you can even say 60% optional, 40% GS, because we know if we are doing geography good, your GS is already happening. It's already you're improving your GS. So focus more on geography, and you will see ki the results will automatically trickle down effect. Results will already trickle down in your GS. Importance of maps we have discussed. Techniques to recollect oceanic amounts of geographical data. This we will cover in class. Whenever topics will be covered, I will teach you various techniques. Like those techniques we applied while preparing for IIT. How to develop scientific aptitude. How to ensure कि data needs to be consolidated. Mental fatigue के लिए क्या करना है? That is the main question. Geography can break your bone, crush your backbone. So you see, UPSC has given hobby. So you must follow your hobby as well, intermittently. Like go keep running in the morning to evening. If you read in the evening, you must run, you must sweat out, you must look fit. Sweat out, you do skipping, everyone can do skipping. You keep a skipping rope and concentrate and keep on doing skipping to reduce your mental fatigue. Remember, to reduce mental fatigue, the best way is to sweat. The more and more you sweat, the more and more fatigueness will reduce. What is the main issue? We sit on the chair and we keep on sitting on the chair from morning to evening, thinking that we are reading, but we don't understand कि morning होते होते productivity बढ़ती है, लेकिन after the time you reach evening, the productivity declines because our brain gets exhausted and it says कि I need certain rest. But remember one mantra here. We think remember that this is the part that we exploit of our brain when we study. Okay. So what most of the student does is that after studying, they go and they sleep. And they think that सोने के बाद उठेंगे तो fresh हो जाएंगे. And then again we will study more. But what they don't understand is that when we go to sleep, all the 4 parts sleeps. No one is active. Everyone is sleeping. And again when we get up, again we start exploiting the same resource. And we are not exploiting these 3 resources. So hamari brain, we become mentally fatigued. We become less productive. So instead of sleeping, go and run. Go watch movies sometimes. Meet your family friends. Follow your hobby. Reading books, listening music, relax your mind. And then again come back. Do it for 1 hour without thinking about UPSC कि what will happen, क्या होगा, नहीं होगा, 4 attempt हो गया, 3 attempt हो गया, 2 attempt हो गए, कैसे clear होगा. Don't think about these things. Just believe on your hard work and just believe on your mentor. And then if you are working hard, I will assist you. But remember, always remember, this is civil services preparation. 80% of the path आपको चलना होगा. We will just assist you. I cannot come and write for you in the exam. I cannot come and tick mark in prelims for you. It will always be your brain that will work. So do not completely rely on the mentor or on the teacher or any institute. We will just help you in cementing the critical gaps that is there in your preparation. And importance of hope and happiness. Look, life is a struggle, and by now everyone would have understood that there will always be ups and downs in lives. So when there is down, the importance of hope and happiness further increases. मान लो पेपर में खराब नंबर आ रहे हैं, यू आर नॉट एबल टू स्कोर गुड मार्क्स इन प्रीलिम्स डिस्पाइट योर थर्ड और फोर्थ अटेम्प्ट, you are always not feeling good, or always you are shy and anxious regarding your geography as your optional. So always have a feeling of hope and happiness in life. It is this that will take you higher, and this is this that will keep pulling you more and more, pushing you more and more towards your own goals. Okay, so this is how we are ending our class, with a quote that is, patience is the key to paradise. And this is what is the mantra for civil services preparation. If you are patiently preparing, but preparing religiously, diligently and wholeheartedly, not just saying दुनिया के लिए prepare नहीं करना है, खुद के लिए prepare करना है. If you are preparing holistically and with full focus, you will realize that your patience will pay off. If not civil services, state services. Even if it's not state services, you will end up somewhere very good in your life. You will definitely end up somewhere good in your life if you have taken this preparation seriously. If you are learning good things about yourself, if you are discovering your capabilities, your abilities in this preparation, if you are understanding the issues that plague the Indian society, if you are developing compassion for vulnerable and marginalized, if you are believing in ForumIAS, if you are believing in the mentor, if you are believing in yourself, Forum is a learning center. There is a reason behind why it has been called learning center. We will teach you how to develop bureaucratic aptitude, how to develop a good personality to be carried on. Because this life is beyond this exam. Everybody knows it. This is just an exam. Once you clear it, your life will actually begin after that. Now is your honeymoon period. Nobody calls you day and night and saying that कि वहाँ पे midday meal में कुछ devastation हो गया, or a disaster has struck, or few people have died, or there has been a stampede in your district. Then you will realize the amount of pressure and anxiety that will cause you. Now it is very simple life. So read, read and read. Read as much as you can, and read happily. Never read with like as if it's a burden on your shoulder. If you ever feel preparing for civil services as a burden, I'm telling you, you will not be able to go far. There is a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So go together with these, the knowledge. Okay? And never give up, despite the setbacks that comes in your life. Never give up. Always be ready to take up any challenges that comes in your life. Okay? So anyone who has any queries, I'll always be available as a mentor for geography students. Please do come and meet me and let me know your queries. I'll solve it on individual basis. So until then, it's okay. Soon, from the end of this month, we'll be starting this test series. Before that, I'm letting you know perspectives and models, theories and laws. These two are the topics that we will cover initially. So you go and start brushing it up, because I will augment your knowledge. And here in class, we will have a interactive session, so that everybody talks, everybody develops the confidence to talk, can voice out their concerns, can voice out their doubts here in the class. And just do not waste money by one institute to another institute, and do not get their doubts cleared. I am not that kind of mentor or teacher. I myself have faced this issue while I was preparing for IIT, and I have realized there are so many talented students who fail just because they fear in asking their own doubts. And when the exam comes, the same doubts strikes them, and they could not clear it. So clear your doubts with me. Clear your doubts with ForumIAS, and I hope your journey with ForumIAS is as smooth as you have hoped for. Thank you. See you someday.